Welcome to the Outset Islands. Today, I would like to talk about how powerful the Triforce, and by extension the Master Sword, truly is. In order to do this, we'll have to start where our stories start, the beginning. Before there was life, before there was anything, before there were universes, multiverses, creatures to shape them, creators to judge them, there were the golden goddesses, and upon their breaths, everything was born and they departed, leaving pieces of their infinite being as triangles that have endless potential. This is the origin of the Triforce. Anybody cunning or resourceful enough to gather all pieces together can essentially play God. With a mere human thought, 12.6 watts of power, you can make any desire a reality. The most limitless weapon in the universe only requires a fifth of the energy a standard light bulb will use. But of course, it all depends on who's holding the weapon. The Triforce is incredibly powerful. We, as Zelda fans, know this, but some don't really give it the credit it is due. Think about how scary it is to know Ganon has it in A Link to the Past. He has complete control over, well, everything. But I mean, hey, all you have to do is remove the Triforce from him and you're good, right? Find someone super fast who can do that. But wait. All speed really is distance divided by time. And two of the things that the Triforce controls are space and, well, time. So as long as he has it, it doesn't really matter how fast you are. Not only can he see to it that he's faster than anything, but he can see to it that you're slower than anything, if he feels like it. Even teleportation is useless here. The only time that the Triforce has ever really been challenged is from the Master Sword. And this thing is made of the same power that puts Ganon throughout planes and dimensions we can't even comprehend. Here's some food for thought. String theory suggests that our universe exists with at least 11 dimensions. The 3 you experience every day, 7 we can't move through, and time. And in Zelda, there's beings like the hero's shade, who transcend space, time, and dimensions according to the manga, but are beneath the complete Triforce. Demise someone responsible for creating a super space in a demon realm, just to fight Link at the end of Skyward Sword, views the Triforce as above him. So if the Triforce is the essence of the gods responsible for maintaining and existing all of that, how exactly do you expect to look like anything faster than a statue when you swoop in to try and blitz him? Ganon, at this point, can literally move in infinite more directions that you can, and he exists beyond your linear perception of time. Imagine how intense the Sealing War must have been. And I mean the original, not the second one. So how would another character beat Ganondorf with a full Triforce? The most common plan you'd typically hear is also the most basic. Here's someone super strong. Maybe they can kill him? Sure. Earlier, I said that with the Triforce, Ganon did have at least one peer in power. The Master Sword. So maybe you know a guy who can take it. So let's find your mystery hero dropkick Ganondorf and call it a day. It's not impossible, but the problem here is that it isn't really probable either. You see, the Triforce has never been treated like your typical superweapon. It is very accurately described, to the point that during his third ever appearance, even the narrator was straight up claiming that it made wielders omnipotent. But anybody who actually played that game and has taken a high school philosophy course knows that's a little bit of an exaggeration. When used properly, the word omnipotent literally means all-powerful, as established by authorities like Saint Augustine, Thomas Aquinas, and a Stanford Encyclopedia of Philosophy, an omnipotent entity has no limits. It can bring about any state of affairs it chooses with no restrictions and no challenges. If an entity had to be created or has to follow rules, it's not omnipotent. If an entity gets tired or has peers of similar power, it's not omnipotent. If an entity ever struggles or can't get information it wants just by willing it, it's not omnipotent. And it's within these fine details that we start to see a few cracks in Ganon's all-powerful weapon. He definitely doesn't qualify for the term, but that really only helps your odds of beating him by, like, the smallest amount. I have managed to segment some of the most impressive things I think the Triforce has ever done. And we can use that as a base for its full potential, instead of just extrapolating outward forever and falling victim to the proof by example fallacy. First of all, Ganon with 2 Triforce pieces threatened to destroy 2 separate multiverses, Law Rules and its mirror counterpart, Hyrule's. So even without all 3 pieces, we know it can do that at the very least. In fact, it's been used to merge universes, timelines and multiverses before, and that's while it was in an incomplete state and with someone mentally unstable respectively. So this plan, technically possible, but you need some real firepower for it to be worth looking into. And don't think you can get around it by strutting up with someone who isn't physically strong, but can wipe minds really well or pull your soul out of your body or turn you into a frog. Ganon can do all of that too. In fact, the massive amounts of power I just described can be applied to any of the aspects the Golden Goddesses created. The Triforce represents all of them. To be frank, he's less likely to fry you with a multiverse-shattering super laser and more likely to put you between dimensions. And he can do that with a single piece. And now it's time to address that one thing that some of you saver viewers have probably been saying from the beginning. Just seal him in another dimension. The Triforce isn't the Infinity Gauntlet, where it only works in its home universe. Take some non-Marvel character who can blow up like 1,000 realities with one hand tied behind his back. Drop him in the same universe as Thanos with the gauntlet, and he gets his butt kicked. But take Thanos and drop him in his opponent's universe, and his gauntlet will amount to not much more than a light show. I've seen it happen. He gets his butt kicked. If every universe were a chat room, then having the Infinity Gauntlet would be like having maximum mod privileges for your chat. The only guy you answer to is the admin, and you have full authority over practically everybody and everything. However, the Triforce considers itself a mod regardless of the chat it's in. They do the same thing, but the Triforce is just, well, better. He's not unbeatable with the Triforce. The heart of the universe from Marvel, Lucifer from DC, the Sword Robot, Darkseid, Hulk, Spawn. There's characters and items that beat him, but it's really hard because he's really strong. I think people should give Ganondorf and Link by extension a bit more credit. It's like people are scared of saying they beat a character like Arceus, but they do.